Hello, my name is Holly Jacobs and I'm going to be telling you about the placement that I completed at Moonlit Sanctuary. Moonlit Sanctuary is a native wildlife park located in Pearcedale on the Mornington Peninsula. It originally opened in 2001 for their iconic night tours and opened during the day for the first time in 2007. Over 60 different species call Moonlit home, including a number of threatened, endangered and critically endangered species. Moonlit focuses on allowing people to get up close with our native wildlife while also educating them about the struggles they face in the wild. Conservation is a major part of what Moonlit does, and they are involved in many release programs and breeding programs. I am actually lucky enough to be part of the reptile team, and I work there during the weekends and do the snake presentations. Organisation structure at Moonlit is very team orientated and making sure that we all work together for the welfare of the animals. The keepers at Moonlit are structured into teams depending on the animals they will be working with during the day. There are 4 teams: the aves team, who look after the birds, the mammals team, reptiles team, and the show team, who are responsible for the animals that appear in our conservation show and our training shows. Each team is a team leader who is in charge of looking after the keepers in the team and coordinating the husbandry of the animals that they look after. At the top of the food chain is the life sciences manager. Any major changes in husbandry, such as diet or enclosure, or any breeding to be done, are checked by the life sciences manager to ensure that they are relevant and in the animal's best welfare interests. And the team leader then passes this changed information on to the team so that everybody is kept up to date. The volunteers who I will be working with are looked after by the volunteer coordinator, who organises the enclosures they look after, any extra jobs they will be doing, and any keepers they will be with during the day. My role on placement was to assist the keepers in their daily tasks, such as the morning rounds, where we clean the enclosures, feed the animals, and give out enrichment, and to work on the goals that I'd set for myself during the placement. This involved learning how to conduct keeper for a day tours, which required me to work very closely with both the aves team and the mammals team, as well as improving my snake handling skills and learning to work with some animals that I previously haven't had a relationship with. Currently, I am completing a Bachelor of Science and a majoring in zoology, so this placement was extremely relevant to my course. Whilst I was able to use some knowledge from most of my subjects, a number of subjects really stood out as important to my career. Animal behaviour, Australian fauna and ecology, ecological genetics and evolution, endangered species biology, and landscape ecology conservation all came in handy throughout my placement as they focus on the practical aspects required in understanding how and why animals react to things and how to best conserve endangered species. Animal behaviour especially came in very handy when I was practicing my snake handling, as I was able to recognise the individual things that particular snakes did not enjoy and ways to make them more comfortable whilst I was handling them. I've wanted to be a zookeeper since I was very, very young, and I definitely don't take it for granted that I already have a job in my chosen field, despite the fact that I haven't finished my degree yet. After I finish my degree, I would love to gain more employed hours at the sanctuary and potentially begin working with other teams, as well as expanding on my reptile knowledge and experience. By doing this placement, I have learned many new skills, all of which has made me much more employable. The skills required to take a keeper for a day tour has also meant that I am now able to take other tours, such as our private tours and behind the scene tours. And I have also learned many of the tasks completed by the mammal and the aves team, meaning that I could potentially begin working with them in the future as I require very little additional training. In terms of whether this placement was valuable, the answer is absolutely. Since completing my placement, I've actually been rostered on to take more keeper for a day tours, so I've already begun to gain more employment hours thanks to this placement. I'm also a lot more proficient in my snake handling and feel much more confident in my ability to work with some of our slightly more challenging snakes, as well as any new snakes we get who are new to education programs and require more confident handlers so they feel more confident in the situations they are in. In conclusion, I've had an absolute ball doing this placement, and it's provided me with so many opportunities that I may not have otherwise had. It's shown me that my university degree has actually been extremely relevant to my future career and has given me the skills to potentially begin working in other areas in the future. Thank you very much for listening. And if you ever have a spare day and need something to do, I highly recommend taking a trip down to Mornington and coming and hanging out at Moonlit. Thank you.